Welcome to HumanityWins.net. Please read the important disclaimer on your screen. All of the content provided is for entertainment purposes only. It should not be taken as medical or legal advice. Please contact your doctor or lawyer if you require such advice. Thank you. The show starts right now. Hello, welcome to this new episode of HumanityWins.net. This is episode 230 from July the 31st of the year 2023. Today's a Monday, and today's episode is one word titled death. I wish to talk about this topic. Came to mind last night. Unfortunately, we were informed, my wife and I, that an acquaintance of me and a kind of a friend of my wife that she hasn't spoke in a couple of years passed away. She left this reality. She went through what mainstream will tell you is death. And I felt it was a good time just to give my feelings, my intuition, my opinion on what is that and why maybe I understand it's a very traumatic event right now in the world in the year 2023, still a very traumatic event for all the family and friends that are left behind. That is the reason I push you so much with my suggestion, especially in the last 2.5 minutes of the show, that you must enjoy this life with family and friends. Exactly because when we depart, it's still a traumatic event, okay? I don't mean to belittle what happened last night, and a person passed away, and she was a mother. She had a 14-year-old child. And by the way, she is the ex-wife of a very good friend of mine. And they got divorced around 2 years ago. And that's when last time I spoke to her. And as I said, an acquaintance, because I knew her socially in gatherings and that. I never had any meaningful conversations with her or any type of other type of relationship. And unfortunately, she got cancer in 2021, and the cancer came back very aggressive this year, around a month ago, and she passed. Again, the purpose of the show is not to go into what happened to her. And that, no, not at all. Is to try to honor her in a way by explaining my feelings on that and why we shouldn't be afraid of that, and why it's very important that we prepare for that by not being afraid of it and being prepared for this passage. Because I'm gonna give you a clue, that's what I feel that is just a passage. It's just to go from point A to point B, to go from one experience to another. It's like finishing a chapter in a book and going to the next one, okay? The issue is the sheer suffering that, unfortunately, because we don't understand that, because we don't prepare for that, because we see that as a definitive event, because we still, even no matter how religious you can be, no one can guarantee that there's something after that. And I cannot guarantee it to you. I'm just going to give you my feelings. I'm very confident of what I'm talking about. I feel it's true in me, it's my truth. And please go back to the last episode on the truth, so you can understand what I'm trying to share here. I cannot tell you that the concept of death, as I understand it, as I feel it, is right. No way. What I can tell you, for me, it feels 100%. And it makes me very, very, very at peace that that is just something we're going to experience time and over again. And someday we're going to mature into understand it's just a passage. And actually, you're going to be surprised by this. Could even be cause for celebration, okay? Because we have a very long video, 8 minutes to watch, but I didn't want to cut anything on that video because it was excellent. It's totally mainstream, it goes into religions and that, but I felt no piece of the video could be cut, so it's actually the full video. And again, as always, you're going to find the link to the video on the show notes. So my suggestion is, if you're interested in watching other material from this creator, go right ahead. If you want to, just click on it and maybe give this creator a comment or an upvote or something like that. That's the purpose of me sharing the links on the show notes. Also as credit, also to clarify, this is not my work. It's under the section credits, and you're going to find the link. And almost all the time, because I've been asked about that, yes, most of the work I find it on YouTube. And the reason also that I link to YouTube, maybe if it's found in some other place, is the quality of the video is much better on YouTube. So that's why I basically use YouTube to source for my little clips to include in this documentary type episode. So let's watch it together. And I'm going to give you my final thoughts. You're going to be surprised. If you are a new subscriber and that, who knows, maybe you're even going to click the unsubscribe button, because I'm really going to go out there on this one. You're going to be surprised by my position on that and how I see it, like something we should prepare for it. We should be at peace with it. And we certainly should try to understand it a little bit better, because I think it's heavily misunderstood. So let's watch the video together.
In the world today, few mysteries remain as inexplicable as death, a subject that has perplexed and divided our society for thousands of years. Some cultures and religions describe an afterlife where souls pass between ethereal realms, while others conceive of death as little more than a sudden drop into nothingness. Almost universally, death is a great unknown, awaiting all living things at the end of existence. So what really happens when you die? After death, the body experiences a cascade of physical changes, largely dependent on the time, location, and cause of death. The process typically begins with a total loss of respiratory, cardiac, or neurological function. In one way or another, the heart ceases beating, respiration stops completely, and the brain, once it is deprived of oxygen, begins to shut down. Within the first hour after death, muscles throughout the body begin to relax, entering a state known as primary flaccidity. Soon, the skin becomes pale, and body temperatures drop to match the surrounding environment. Within 1 to 6 hours, muscles and joints become rigid, starting with the small muscles in the face, which typically mark the onset of rigor mortis. As the systems that govern the physical body grind to a halt, all electrical activity terminates in the brain, and the contents of the mind are permanently lost. A lifetime of memories, knowledge, and experiences seem to vanish. In some ways, the death of a person is similar to the total, systematic failure of a computer. Unless the information from that computer is stored elsewhere, its contents exist in no other world or dimension. Once a computer's hardware stops functioning, its contents disappear forever. The human brain may function in a similar way, which leads many people to wonder, do our lives lose all meaning and significance at the moment of death? Religious traditions present several opposing hypotheses that deny the apparent meaninglessness of strictly scientific interpretations of death. For instance, many belief systems consider the significance of our lives on Earth by conceiving of humans as dualistic beings, with material bodies and immaterial spirits, or souls. At the moment of death, the physical body may perish completely, but many religions believe our non-physical souls continue to exist. If humans are truly dualistic beings, possessing both a body and a soul, what becomes of our disembodied souls after death? How do our fleeting lives on Earth influence our potentially eternal journey beyond the grave? In Christian traditions, 2 or sometimes 3 realms of the afterlife, heaven, hell, and purgatory, await all souls as compensation for their earthly deeds. At the moment of death, the soul leaves the physical body to stand before God and receive divine judgment. According to God's will, good, righteous people are delivered to heaven, while unrighteous people, as well as those who reject God's love, must spend an eternity in hell. All other souls, including sinners who put their faith in God, travel to a realm of temporary punishment called purgatory, where they are purged of their sins and eventually welcomed into heaven. Though heaven and hell are described in the Bible as physical places, many Christians interpret the realms of the afterlife as the subjective experience of God. People in heaven experience God's eternal love, while people in hell forever suffer in God's absence. Concepts like heaven and hell are shared by most Abrahamic religions, including Christianity, Islam, and Judaism. Among them, Islam is perhaps the most descriptive. In Islamic traditions, life after death is known as akhirah and begins when the soul is drawn out of the body by Azrael, the angel of death. The soul is then tested on the teachings of the Quran by 2 ambassadors of Allah, the omnipotent God of all things. Believers in the Quran are admitted to a paradise called Jannah, whereas unbelievers are punished in Jahannam, forced to wear garments of fire and doused in boiling water. Almost all major religions draw connections between the afterlife and one's actions on Earth. People who do good things are typically rewarded for their virtuosity, while people who do bad things receive some kind of punishment. However, major religions disagree on the notion of an everlasting afterlife. While Abrahamic religions create a clear divide between life on Earth and life after death, some Eastern traditions view life and death as semi-permanent stages in a great cosmic cycle. For example, Buddhist teachings revolve around reincarnation, a cyclical process through which non-physical souls are reborn as other living entities. Throughout their infinite lifetimes, souls accrue moral attributes, or karma, based on how they lived their lives. With each life cycle, good karma brings souls closer to nirvana, a state of higher being or enlightenment that releases souls from samsara, the endless cycle of life, death, and rebirth. Hindu interpretations of death and the afterlife share many core concepts with Buddhism, including samsara and the accruing of karma over multiple lifetimes. Hindu traditions relate the process of life and rebirth to wearing a new set of clothes. The physical body changes, but the essence of the self, known as the Atman, endures into the next life. Between death and reincarnation, when the Atman is unclothed, it departs from the physical world on a treacherous journey through the kingdom of Yama, the Hindu god of death. At the end of its long journey, the Atman is judged by Yama and reincarnated into a new body, perhaps a bird, a bug, or another human being. Over and over, the Atman dies and is reborn, until at last it achieves final emancipation, or moksha, which means life everlasting. Outside the world's major religions, there are thousands of unique systems of faith, each with a distinct perspective on life after death. The ancient Persian religion of Zoroastrianism, one of the oldest organized religions in the entire world, describes a narrow bridge that disembodied souls must cross to enter their version of paradise, known as the House of Song. In some traditional African religions, the souls of the dead remain connected to their relatives as spiritual ancestors, and in some cases are reborn into their families as newborn children. These religious traditions offer an array of futures for departed souls. However, science and secular philosophy have cast doubt on the existence of a soul in the human body. Early philosophers regarded the human soul as an anatomical fact, but the soul largely disappeared from academic texts once the brain was identified as the source of our physiological processes and cognition functions. Thus, the mind replaced the soul as the primary force behind human reason, cognition, and free will. However, concepts of the soul and the afterlife are still helpful metaphors for human psychology and individual consciousness. At the moment of death, literal spirits may or may not rise from our bodies. Either way, humans may experience some form of post-mortem existence, if only for a few short seconds. Recent studies have detected rhythmic wave patterns, like those measured while dreaming or meditating, in brains that have suffered cardiac or respiratory cessation. Additionally, many individuals who survive near-death events have reported profound experiences, including auditory and visual sensations, while teetering on the brink. Some people encountered bright lights and hallucinations, while others underwent out-of-body experiences, during which their spirits seemed to separate from their corporeal selves. Post-mortem brain activity hardly proves the existence of an afterlife, but it does raise questions about the subjective experience of death. More importantly, it exposes gaps in our knowledge of human psychology, consciousness, and the great beyond. Precisely what form post-mortem existence takes is a mystery known only to the dead and the dying. Like a dream or a near-death experience, the qualities of one's post-mortem existence may be unique to every individual. They may even resemble one or more religious interpretations of the afterlife. However, there is little concrete knowledge we can draw from these fleeting visions beyond the grave. As curious as we are to discover what awaits us in the great beyond, our understanding of life after death may always be limited to our faith, our spirituality, and our collective imagination.
Okay, so I apologize for the length, but I couldn't take anything, as you can see, anything out. As you can see, excellent explanation, very mainstream. The author went into different religions and explained the difference between the Abrahamic religions were very similar on themselves, and more the Hinduism and Buddhist religions, we kind of have a different take on that. What you see on your screen is how I feel about that. There is a passage. It's going through a bridge, okay? It's a bridge from one experience to another. However, as of late, and I want to call out my good friend Adam from Manchester, we're going to have an episode soon, and it's going to be on ghosts. I hope, Adam, you're still up for that. And I want to pick Adam's brain on his expertise on the ether, on his expertise on this notion of the 4D, of this notion that you're possibly could be stuck in the bridge. Let's just say it at that. So basically, so I don't go long on this. That I see it as a passage, but you have to prepare for it, okay? And the good thing is Laura was her name if we go through the mainstream explanation that she's dead. And Laura is her name, although it's the way she was identifying this reality, so it gets very complex. But I think Laura is still somewhere, okay? Where Laura is, as of last night, only Laura knows. Whoever is going to tell you that knows for sure where Laura is, honestly, I disagree. And of course, we're probably going to go to a wake today or tomorrow, my wife and I, and there's probably going to be a priest mostly, quite possibly Catholic, as 90+% of people here in Mexico are Catholic. And he's going to say Laura is with God. Laura is in heaven because she was a very good Catholic. She was a good person, okay? That I'm not questioning that. But the priest is going to make it for sure. You know, that's the explanation that religions want to offer you, the afterlife, okay? That if you follow rules, then you get to meet God and you're going to be in heaven forever, okay? So I don't see anything wrong with that. Please don't get me wrong. Because if that's going to give comfort to the family, again, she has or had, again, it gets very complex, a mother and father, they're still alive. So I don't think children should die for the parents. It's just, you know, the sheer suffering is something I cannot even put in words. Okay, so she left behind a 14-year-old that fortunately, my friend, even if they are divorced, he's not the father of the child. Okay, but I'm sure, knowing him, my good friend Alex, he's gonna take care of the boy, okay, until he's an adult and beyond that. So again, the suffering of all this unplanned passing. But I do believe in the future, okay, as we improve and mature and evolve, that could be a celebration. And let me explain that. First of all, we're gonna choose our passing, okay? That's different from dying of disease, like it was this case. And if you're interested in my take on cancer, I made an episode on cancer when a good friend of mine, Patty, she passed away last June, and she passed away of cancer, same as Laura, by the way. As I already explained, she got cancer in 2021 and came back 2023, very aggressive. She passed in a month. Body of something else. So the real culprit, the real one we should hate is whatever caused to heal you, trying to save you, okay? Again, my best example will be if you were in the Chernobyl accident, you're going to get cancer in days, okay? Radiation that is killing you, okay? So yeah, some are going to say they passed out of cancer, okay, because of the body from the radiation. Unfortunately, it's not 100%, which doesn't make any sense, such as or operations to extract the cancer. The issue, which is sometimes either toxicity, such as radiation, such as, you know, poisoning, such as, you know, heavy metal, you know, intoxication, emotional, different thing. Dealing with the artificial emotions that don't exist in the spiritual realm. As a spirit, you can only feel love. That's the only emotion and energy you can feel as a spirit. But as a human in the physical realm, you can feel anger, rage, fear, hate, envy, and all that. And those emotions, if they go beyond what you are able to handle, I do believe that. Okay, again, here you get my feelings, my intuitions. You don't get more than that. Please don't pass this as truth. Please take this with a lot of grains of salt, and go and look at my previous episode on the truth so you can understand what I'm sharing here. I'm showing you my intuition. So then I see it as a passage. I see it of going, your experience here, for example, on the case of Laura, I don't know where she went. Okay, I don't know if she's gonna come back to Earth. And I want to share something. I changed my tune, that I always saw death as a passage, like a connection between experiences, always. So the case of ghosts and the case of, you know, people lost and confused out there, I couldn't explain it. I always thought, you know, it was something demonic or something. And I changed my tune because I believe if you don't prepare for that in this dense reality, physical reality, if you are too attached to the physicalities, if you are too attached to your brain, and even the video and even mainstream will tell you, when you die, the brain is gone, the body's gone, okay? We went through that through the video. I always said, please, no religion claims you take your body and your brain with you and your knowledge, okay? No religion, no scientific explanation, nothing. Your body is left behind, and that's a big sign. That's a big breadcrumb, okay? I'm not saying hate your body. No, we need it. We need it in this physical reality. Okay, take good care of your body, but don't be obsessed with it, and don't be obsessed about your brain, and don't be obsessed about your knowledge, because at the end, when you die, I can assure you, I cannot assure you where you're going or how it's going to be or all that. But what can I assure you is you're going to be leaving your body behind and you're going to be leaving your brain behind. Okay. So, what I changed my tune a little bit, and I want to speak to Adam about this in our episode about ghosts, is maybe if we don't prepare for that, and our death is traumatic, so there are ways of dying, okay? One good thing about Laura was my wife and I spoke with her for more than 2 years, because when my friend and her divorced, she decided to cut ties with the relationships she got to her ex-husband. So we didn't hear about her anymore. We heard she got sick, and then we heard this year she got sick again, but through third parties, okay? But that information also, they shared to us that she was in very good spirits, okay, these past 2 days. She was in the hospital. They sent her home, basically because there was nothing more to do. And great that they sent her home, because dying in a hospital is horrible, okay? And then they try to revive you and that. And that's exactly what I'm talking about. The way you pass is very important. The way you pass is very important, because I think if you're not prepared for it, you haven't prepared your spirit for it, because again, let's remember, the body is left behind, the brain is left behind, so it's nothing to do with us. Your spirit that needs to be prepared to embrace this passage through the bridge and embrace the next experience, then you're going to be fine. But if you're resistant to it, I believe, and I want to speak to Adam about this, that's the notion of ghosts. You're left in kind of a limbo. You're left between experiences. So you're operating in something called the 4D, okay? It's a special realm that you're not physically on Earth, but because you were so unprepared for this passage, because you were so unprepared, you were so attached to the physicalities of your body, of your mind, to visual evidence, to visual things. For all of those people who say the one truth, and there's no evidence about aliens, and there's no evidence about whatever, and for all those attached, I believe if you're not prepared for death, what could happen is you want to come back, but it's like you're dead and you don't know you're dead. So I believe it's something amazing. This has come to me in the last month or something like that. This very interesting topic on death and spirits and ghosts, and that's why I want to do the episode with Adam, because I really want to see his reaction, and I want to learn from him on what he has to say on this subject. That maybe, just maybe, that's why people go back. These people that are confused, these beings that are confused, they are not in physical form anymore. They're not passing on. They're not coming back to Earth. They're in a transitional state. And by the way, what's 1 year, 10 years, 100 years, 1,000 years in an eternity? Nothing. So that's why I believe ghosts could go on for hundreds of years in this state, that you're just confused, wanting to come back to the place you died. If you died traumatically, if you were abused, if you were shot, you were a soldier. So think about all those ways of dying. I'm going to share a little story, and I'm going to end with that. I shared that in November 2021. I'm just telling you, I felt pretty bad, and I felt this thing wanted to kill me. And I was never at risk. And my good friend Alex, who is the ex-husband of Laura, which passed away, he's a doctor, he checked me out, and I wanted to check my lungs. I said, you know what, you're fine. You're actually, yes, you look rough, and you're getting a bad case, but you're mostly fine. However, he said, you're very lucky that I'm your friend, and you're very lucky that you were checked out by me, because a pneumologist, or if you went to the hospital, to the emergency room, they will put you in a ventilator, okay, in your state. Because yes, it was pretty rough. I was pretty rough. Basically a cough, I couldn't stop, and stuff like that. My oxygenation levels were on 92, which is still considered, pretty decent. But he said, in a hospital, ventilate. So I was thinking, how about this thing? And I know there's okay, just embrace me, just entertain me, okay? That later. And then they try to revive you for legal reasons, for money reasons, because they charge. My father-in-law, my wife's father, passed away in a hospital, in an emergency room. And They charge a fortune for all the things they do to try to revive you. A fortune, okay? And they also do it for legal reasons, like saying, we didn't leave him to die. We tried to revive him. But imagine the passing. If you are not prepared for the breach I'm showing in the screen, imagine the turmoil that you're going through the breach and suddenly your legs get pulled or your hands get pulled and no, come back to earth, revive you. And so you're dead and you're alive and you're alive and you're dead. And so imagine the stress on your soul if you're not prepared for that. So this is an amazing subject, and I just, honestly, I think I just touched the surface. That, first of all, we shouldn't be afraid of dying. We should embrace life. As I say in the last 2.5 minutes on the show, if you have any problems with family and friends, patch them up. If you have any problems with you, patch it up. Enjoy your life every second. I'm not saying you have to be stoned or drunk or have a margarita on a beach to be enjoying life. You could be enjoying life at your work. You could be enjoying life if you're a student. You could be enjoying life, whatever. You could be enjoying life at home. You could be enjoying life on your own, meditating. You could be enjoying life, but enjoy it. Be at peace. Okay, it's very important. And don't be afraid of that. When that comes, be prepared, not afraid. Two different things. Be prepared, not afraid. Because it's going to be a breach and you're going to pass. And the only thing I'm concerned that happens is that you get stuck in this limbo, trying to come back because you weren't prepared, and you're going to try to come back to this physical reality, and you're stuck in a limbo until I think that cannot go on forever. But again, it could go on for 100 years, 500 years, 1,000 years for sure. And I think it's the basis of these poltergeist, ghost stories that these confused beings, that they want to come back. I don't think they understand they're gone, and they want to come back to this physical reality until maybe, just maybe, they mature it and say, you know what, I'm going to pass, and suddenly they go to the next experience. So this is something new for me. I thought it was seamless. That was just a bridge, and you cross it and you're fine. I think you need to get prepared, especially as we get better and more mature, because then that is going to be a celebration. Yes, let me explain finally on that. How is it going to be a celebration? Imagine in 100 years, 1,000 years, the new world is here. You're going to choose that because there's no disease, okay? Nothing is going to kill you. You're going to choose. You had enough on Earth. You want to go somewhere else. But because people are going to understand that you're going to keep going, people are going to understand your reasons for wanting to enjoy and learn and mature somewhere else, because the universe is so vast, it's infinite. Why should we be stuck on Earth all the time, even if it's beautiful? Why should we be stuck on Earth all the time, going back to Earth? There's so many places, okay? So many places, so many things to do, so many things to learn and enjoy. So we can mature and become our best version, which is beacons of love and guidance, pure energy, okay? So in 100 years, your family, your Earth family, your new Earth family, is going to be a celebration when you say, you know what? I've been here for 100 years. I'm perfectly fine. I could go on for 1,000 more, but I'm electing to leave. And everyone is going to be happy for you. And that, air quotes, that, the passing to your next experience is going to be a celebration. And there's not going to be the possibility of these lost souls, these confused souls, that they're so attached to the physical dimension, they're so attached to their brains, they're so attached to their arrogance, they're so attached to their one truth thing, all concepts, all fake concepts of this very complex fake reality, hijacked reality we're living, that there's no chance that you're going to have any problems with that. It's going to be a celebration, okay? You're going to cross the bridge, and everyone is going to be applauding you, saying, go ahead, because again, your experience, your life, your eternal experience is something you enjoy yourself. Your story is magnificent. It will make an Oscar movie, okay? And it's going to be like that forever until you become a beacon of light. Thank you very much for watching. I apologize if this went a little bit longer than expected, but you know, we had a long video to watch. I hope you enjoy it, and I really look forward to the show with Adam to speak about that, ghosts, and that, because it's going to be extremely interesting hearing what Adam has to say this subject. Thank you very much. Please stay for the last 2 minutes of the show, and if everything's okay, I should see you back on Wednesday. Thank you. Thank you for making it to this part of the video. This is my favorite part. This is where I suggest to you that you discover yourself. You are not what you have been groomed to believe. You are this incredible being without limits that has eternal life, amazing strength, infinite wisdom, and a big, beautiful heart. All your limits are always self-imposed. Your best version in this reality is inside you. Your only mission on this life is to become a beacon of love and guidance. This version is ready to be discovered today. How do you discover yourself? The discovery process is a personal one. No one can do it for you. Dedicate 5 minutes a day to talk to yourself and the universe. Request to be connected and ask, who am I? Where do I come from? You will start getting signs, breadcrumbs and signals. You will notice how your notions about those realities start disappearing. No more hierarchies, no more competition, no more complaining, no more depending on others. Discovering yourself equals to breaking your matrix. Your self-imposed limits will fall and you will be ready to serve humanity and help break this spell and deception on us. But you must be patient to allow others to wake up at their time through their own free will. That will be really soon, you will see, and that will start a new war. As you work towards your best version, you will notice how old emotions don't serve you anymore. Hate, fear, rage, pride, loss, envy, violence, justice, true violence, judgment of others, and other emotions will disappear from your mind and heart. You will understand those emotions serve only the evildoers and are not you. Please try to be understanding of others that don't think or feel like you. Everyone has a process. No one is right or wrong. We're all just different. Don't be concerned about being right, ever. Don't allow pride preventing you from patching things up with family and friends. It is very important you enjoy this life with your loved ones. Put in the work to patch things up and leave it to others to decide. Please relax and enjoy life. When everyone breaks their own matrix, humanity through our community consciousness will break the final spell. The new world will start and everything will gradually fall. Governments, hierarchies, and the medical and financial system will go from scarcity to abundance for all. Thank you very much for watching. Please share this episode. If you have any comments or suggestions, please use the comment section below. For private questions, conversations, and if you would like to appear on the show, please email me at hey@humanitywins.net. Thank you again. Please don't forget to visit our website www.humanitywins.net. By giving me your time, you honor me. Have a very, very, very nice day.